Before the Emperor of Mankind embarked on his legendary unification of Terra, the galaxy was a fractured wasteland of forgotten glory and brutal survival. But what of the worlds beyond Earth? What dark histories unfolded on the other planets in our solar system during the Age of Strife? Today we turn our gaze to the searing inferno of Venus, a planet where warlords ruled with an iron fist, their power forged in the flames of a dying world. Amidst the planet's toxic atmosphere and crushing heat, humanity struggled to survive. Venus, once a beacon of human ingenuity during the dark age of technology, had become a prison where only the strong could endure. Join us as we delve into the rise and fall of the Venusian Warlords, masters of a world on the brink of destruction. Venus, the second planet from the Sun, has always been a world of extremes. Its surface is a hellscape, with temperatures hot enough to melt lead and an atmosphere thick with corrosive clouds of sulfuric acid. Yet, in the distant past, during the dark age of technology, humanity looked to Venus with ambition. The dream was to terraform the planet, to turn its inhospitable surface into a new home for humankind. Advanced technologies were deployed, colossal machines and atmospheric processors that worked tirelessly to tame the raging planet. But as the Age of Strife dawned, these efforts crumbled. The warp storms that severed communication and travel across the galaxy didn't spare the solar system. Isolated and cut off from Terra and Mars, the colonies on Venus faced a grim reality. The planet's terraforming projects faltered, the technology that sustained life deteriorated, and Venusian society began to regress into a brutal state of survival. Warlords emerged from the ashes of civilization, seizing control of the remaining habitable zones, underground cities and sealed domes where the last remnants of humanity clung to life. These were not the noble leaders of a bygone era, but ruthless tyrants who ruled with an iron fist. They wielded ancient technologies as weapons, using them to maintain their grip on power. The Venusian warlords were a product of their environment. The planet's extreme conditions shaped their tactics and strategies. They fought not just for power, but for the very air they breathed and the water they drank. Their armies were small but deadly, equipped with relics from the dark age of technology. War machines designed to withstand the planet's toxic atmosphere and crushing pressure. Among these warlords, there were those who sought to dominate their rivals, uniting the scattered colonies under a single banner. Others were content to rule their isolated domains, building their strength and waiting for the day when they could strike. The wars they waged were fierce and unrelenting, fought in the shadows of crumbling infrastructure and abandoned terraforming engines. In these conflicts, the line between man and machine blurred, as cybernetic enhancements and advanced weaponry became the norm. Life under the Venusian warlords was harsh. The people who lived in these domains were subject to the whims of their rulers, forced to toil in dangerous environments to maintain the technology that kept them alive. Food and water were scarce, and those who displeased the warlords often faced a swift and brutal death. Yet, despite the hardships, some of these warlords were seen as protectors by their people, offering a semblance of order in a world gone mad. The warlords themselves were a diverse group. Some were remnants of the old aristocracy, clinging to the vestiges of their former glory. Others were military leaders, hardened by years of warfare and determined to carve out their own empires. There were also those who were little more than bandits, seizing power through sheer brutality and fear. Yet, all shared a common goal: survival at any cost. As the centuries passed, the Venusian warlords continued their struggle for dominance. The planet's harsh environment took its toll, and many of the warlords' domains fell into ruin, their rulers unable to maintain the technology that sustained them. Those who survived became even more isolated, their power bases shrinking as they focused on defending what little they had left. But Venus was not entirely forgotten. The Emperor of Mankind, during his conquest of the solar system, eventually turned his attention to the planet. By then, Terra was largely unified, and the Emperor's forces were looking beyond Earth for new conquests. The remnants of the Mechanicum on Mars were already allies, and the shipyards of Jupiter had been secured. Venus, however, remained a wild card, a world where the rule of law had long since vanished, replaced by the tyranny of the warlords. The Emperor's campaign to bring Venus into the fold was swift and brutal. His forces, equipped with the finest war machines and genetically engineered soldiers, descended upon the planet like an unstoppable force. The warlords, despite their advanced technology and hardened troops, were no match for the Emperor's armies. One by one, their strongholds fell, their domains shattered, and their legacies erased. Yet, the warlords did not go quietly. Some chose to fight to the bitter end, leading their forces in desperate last stands against the Emperor's forces. Others attempted to negotiate, hoping to retain some measure of power under the new regime. But the Emperor had little patience for such negotiations. His goal was unification, and those who stood in his way were swept aside. In the end, Venus was brought to heel, its warlords either killed or forced into exile. The planet's remaining population was absorbed into the growing Imperium, and the ancient technologies that had once sustained the warlords' rule were repurposed to serve the Emperor's needs. Venus, once a world of ambition and power, was now just another cog in the vast machinery of the Imperium. But the legacy of the Venusian warlords was not entirely forgotten. Their stories, passed down through the generations, became legends, tales of a time when humanity's reach extended beyond Terra to the very edge of the solar system. These legends served as a reminder of the fragility of human ambition and the inevitable march of history. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the forgotten history of Venus and its warlords. If you enjoyed this exploration of humanity's dark past, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Until next time, keep the lore alive.